think on the surface, we adults see that and say, oh no, these kids are going to internalize this and hate themselves. I don't think so. I think kids rebel. And I think you put these kids in white racial affinity groups and then tell them how bad they are. And they're going to be like, nah, we're cool.
Team up.
And then they're going to say the opposite of what the adults say, as children do when they rebel.
Yep.
I mean, I think I was reading about the natural cycle of like youth and rebellion and the importance of it for human civilization. That the youth needs to challenge the tradition of the old to make sure there's constantly some kind of societal change, lest the society grows stagnant and then collapse. So let's say you have, it's kind of like evolution. The slow changes allow for an opportunity to improve the greater. So the youthful generation is always challenging the older generation and trying to change things, make things better. And sometimes things don't change and sometimes they do. So you have a bunch of kids who are constantly rebelling against the older generation. I think it was Socrates, I'm not entirely sure, who complained about how the kids...
Yes.
Was it Socrates?
Yeah, I think so.
He was like, the kids don't listen to their elders. They're
Everyone's
rambunctious
writing a
and
book.
disrespectful. They're all reading books or something like that. It's really, really funny to read that because it's like, wow, humans never changed.
But the problem is that their favorite YouTubers are saying it. Their favorite celebrities are saying it. And so it's different than like parents and like stuffy old teachers saying it. They're seeing it from people that they think are cool.
But I still think what's going to happen is it's going to breed a very large sect of the alt-right. It's going to breed. So the way I put it earlier is you have 60% of this country that is white. Let's say a small percentage of them are woke leftists who actually watch this stuff. Because like I think it's fair to recognize most people don't know anything about this, including, Latinos who have no idea what Latinx means. Like 97% are like, what? I don't know what that means. So how many white people actually understand the woke stuff? Probably not that many. Of those who do, how many are on the left? So what? You end up with like 10% of the people falling for this. But then what happens when the other 10% who hate it, are also in these groups? I'll put it this way. Every single kid who hears this is not necessarily going to just agree with it. You'll get some amount of disagreement. They are breeding white supremacists, kids who will say, no, you're wrong. I actually think it is better, or things like that. The other issue is that if they keep doing this, and eventually regular working class Americans who just happen to be white feel threatened and aggrieved, well, then they'll start voting based on race. And that's apparently what they want. And then guess what? Congratulations. 60% of the country is not going to vote based on race.
What, how does your daughter feel about it? Have you talked to her?
I don't want to talk about my daughter on here, really. But
do you have deep conversations about it with the kids?
We try and avoid that stuff in my house. I don't have cable, so we don't actually get the commercials except when I was on vacation. But I was watching it, and I was like, holy crap, they're talking about impeachment on the Disney Channel.
What?
Yeah, and it shocked me. And, I mean, we don't really watch that stuff. We watch, like, Mr. Beast and crap at my house. But, yeah, I don't know. My daughter's homeschooled, so it's a whole different ballgame than what the kids who are in public school and getting the Black Lives Matter curriculums are seeing.
Dude, I was playing Apex Legends and I saw some cool banner and I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. So I just equipped it to my guy and it was this fist sticking up with a yellow background.
Wow.
And then another one of my friends was like, that's the Black Lives Matter thing, dude. And I was like, what, really? I didn't even know.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm kind of
funny.
in it and I didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
I can
There's a
see this
YouTuber that's for kids, and I was watching some of their videos because my daughter likes to watch Roblox videos, and I like to see what they're doing. So I was checking out this channel, and he's going on about how if you're not attracted to trans people, that you're homophobic. And I'm like, this is targeted towards kids who are like 7. It's a Roblox channel. And I was just astounded. Like, you have to really watch what your kids are watching now. It's terrifying. And the right isn't touching this field. Like, the children are being targeted by the left. They're paying big money. They're getting commercials on Disney. They're getting curriculums into schools. And the right largely wants to keep kids out of politics. We don't want,
and they want their kids in these schools.
Yeah.
I never understood the absurdity of being like, they're indoctrinating our kids in these schools with their woke curriculum. I demand my kid be put back in school.
Yeah.
Like, okay, then shut up. Put your
Straight
kid
news
in the
story.
school. I don't care.
homeschooling. That's what it's all about.
That you get these news stories where like the teachers union guy in California is saying schools can't be reopened and then sending his kid to a private school. They're going to send your kids to the wolves, to the indoctrination, we'll call it facilities, because they're not camps, they're facilities, where your kids go to school and they learn all this weird racial stuff and they put your white kids in a white affinity group so they can learn about white history and shared culture. Congratulations on that one. And then your kids are going to be in that, and they're going to send their kids to the fancy normal schools where your kids will be indoctrinated and made to believe this crazy stuff.
My friend sent me a video this week of her son's class, and she was teaching. His teacher was showing the class how to do the Black Power salute. These are 5-year-olds. Like, these kids are being dipped in it from like 2 years old and up. Like,
see, and the right will never go there because we want kids to be kids,
right?
And so it's bad, and they're on a whole different playing field than we are.
Well, Tim is absolutely right. Yep. They're actually fighting like a serious fight here, and we're not, and we're gonna lose because of it. And Tim is absolutely right about complaining about schools not being open. Like, why would you complain about that?
Yeah,
keep your kid at home.
I haven't got that either.
Right,
I'm like, wait, no, this is great.
Yes, figure out how to homeschool them. Yes, absolutely.
Or pods.
Yeah,
where the local community gets all their kids together. You hire one tutor.
Yeah,
to
teach
teach
I don't
the
feel
kids.
That smart.
Well, I live in West Virginia now, and there's actually a bill making its way through Congress in our state where they're going to fund children instead of institutions.
A lot of states are doing that.
Yeah, I'm so amped. It went
it.
through the Senate and Congress now. I think it has to be signed by the governor.
Awesome.
I could be wrong.
How does it work?
But it's great. So instead of the money, because each public school gets like $20,000 a year or something per student. So instead of that money automatically going to the public schools, the parents will be able to choose whether they want to spend that on homeschool supplies, on private school, on sending them to a charter school, or sending them to public school, and then they'll get that money. And the teachers' unions really oppose it because nobody's going to want to send their kids to public school. But it's amazing, and it's great, and I am really pushing for this to go through, and I love my state.
School choice. School choice.
Yeah.
That was one of Trump's positions. I'm in favor. I'm absolutely in favor of.
Yeah.
It's a little disheartening that, hey, if you're going to be a teacher, you might be out of a job. The age of automation is coming, the age of homeschooling is coming, but just
get a job
think
at a
about
private
that.
school.
If you're 17 and you're going to school, maybe you don't want to become a teacher.
Dude, school
or be a better teacher so that people want to send their kids to you.
Yeah, you can teach those pods.
Public school in Chicago was like torture. There was maybe like one. There were like a couple of good teachers. There was one really good teacher I had for the most part, who I respect. I'm actually friends with on Facebook. The other teachers were criminal. It was child abuse. The things these teachers. There's one lady. I won't say her name. Absolutely despicable, old, haggard, obese woman who would just insult and berate and just crap all over these kids every day. And I watched it. Now, for me, when I was like 9, my family started a business. And so I was very independent on my own, building computers, having a job, and understanding what it meant to actually be responsible. So hearing this morbidly obese, nasty woman rag and insult me was meaningless to me because it doesn't affect